Natalie, but you are a minor party. There can't be any argument about that.
Well, I think if we look at the situation of we're looking at the classification of this, we're polling at or above the levels of the Lib Dems.
But they're quite a minor party now too, aren't they?
Well, I think we're possibly overtaking them. But
not in seats.
And if you look at it in terms of the situation, particularly among young voters, YouGov poll out before Christmas, 22% of under 25s are planning to vote Green. A survey of students showed 24% support among students. We're in there. We finished above the Lib Dems in the European.
But your average poll rating is 4% in 2014.
But what we've seen in 2014 is the Green surge. The fact is, the politics is changing very fast.
You've gone from 4 to 6%.
Well, we had a 10% poll just before Christmas that was. And if you look at the direction of travel of the graphs, and you also look at the fact that our membership more than doubled last year. We now have 31,000 members, and there's Scotland as well. That's just England and Wales.
Should the SNP be able to take part too?
Well, I think we have to recognise we're now in 5 or 6 party politics in Britain.
Certainly 6 in Scotland.
Exactly, and so we're in a much more complex situation. We need, Mr Cameron was right in 2009 to say we desperately need to get more political engagement, and that means lots of voices being heard, the public, the voters, having the real chance, particularly to hear the anti-austerity voices that in the current plans for the debates would simply be utterly excluded.
It's interesting, though, when you look at the issues that the British people think are facing them, that Green issues don't get into the top 10.
Well, I think if you look at the issues on there, people are very concerned about the economy. The sort of
they are indeed.
The Green Party's talking about. So things.
And you are indeed. So would you fight this campaign not so much on greenery as in a party to the left of Labour on major social and economic issues?
Well, we'd be fighting this election as we'd fight every election on all of the issues, and that means things like making the minimum wage a living wage, bringing the railways back into public hands, saying, you were just hearing about the NHS, the privatisation of the NHS, the market mechanism that's causing such damage in the NHS.
So you would fight on these issues?
Yeah, as we always do. We're a political party. We have policies on every issue.
So to that extent, you would be a different and fresh voice?
Well, what we're saying is, on things like bringing the railways back into public hands, despite the fact that that's got strong majority public support, and in fact a majority of Tory voters want to bring the railways back into public hands. We're the only parties there putting that forward.
Let me go to Paul Nuttall. Are you happy that you're regarded as a major party? I mean, you only got 2 MPs and you got 3% of the vote at the last election. Doesn't sound very major to me.
Lots gone on since the last election, Andrew.
This is certainly true.
Including
the surge of the Greens.
Well, last year alone we became the first political party since 1910 that isn't Labour or the Tories to win a national election. We've made a breakthrough in local government in the past 2 years. Our membership is now around 43,000, level with the Liberal Democrats. We are a major political party and we deserve to be in those debates.
The problem is when you talk about anything other than Europe or immigration, you get into a complete mess, don't you?
Oh, I wouldn't say that, Andrew. I think you
did. As part of a question, naturally.
I think you just have to listen to what was said at our conference in Doncaster back in September, where we laid out policies in all areas. But equally, let's not forget, David Cameron isn't calling for the Greens to be involved in these debates because he really wants them there. He's doing it because he's scared of UKIP. He doesn't want to debate with Nigel Farage.
It's surely a matter of principle.
Andrew, and that's why the Conservatives haven't put anyone.
Surely the Prime Minister standing up here for diversity and democracy and principle. No,
yeah,
am I wrong? Oh, I never realised that.
That's a pig flying in Liverpool that I've just seen here.
Right. It's a very nice pig.